Chart Nerd TA update. So today I'm going to be diving back into Chainlink. I do believe I did an update on Link. This was around 10 days ago. I did just have a quick recap of where I left off and basically seeing where the charts are at now. But I wanted to just to get in here, have a little dive into some TA and hopefully update you guys on what potentially may occur in the near future. So looking at Link here, okay, you can see that straight away you've got this level of resistance above us, okay, which sits at $9.50. Okay, and you've got this level of support down here, which is at a rough price of around $5.60. Okay, so you can see that on the weekly time frame here, Chainlink is basically caught between this range, and I do think potentially what you're looking to do is come down and retest this low and start to coil up. Okay, and you're basically caught between a rock and a hard place. Now, what's really simple to see here, okay, guys, I keep saying this in most videos, it's a game of support and resistance. Right now, you've got this resistance line. Okay, and right now you've got this support line. If you see Chainlink either start to come up here, hold an ascending level of support, okay, and coil up and break out above this resistance and hold it as support, that's your long signal. Okay, that's your long signal. But equally, if you do see Chainlink, potentially get rejected by this trend line here, you can see that you've got this strong trend line of resistance right now on the weekly. If you do get rejected at this point and continue to roll, and you do come down, retest the support and lose that and turn it to resistance, that's your short signal. Okay, so potential targets, let's look at some potential targets. Okay, I do believe that on the previous video I was looking at your downside targets here for Link. Okay, so the best way to look at this, okay, so I'm going to start with the bearish scenario. Okay, so you've got this high right here, okay, which is our local high, and we're retracing back to this low, okay, which is the low that we're currently holding. So this is our resistance and this is our support. So if you start to see Link, okay, if you do start to see Link start to come down here, as I said, you've got this resistance line on your head on the weekly. Okay, you can see that right here you've got this resistance. Okay, with the closes, I'm going to go off the closes, but you can see that if Chainlink continuously runs into this resistance and starts to lose the 050, which is $7, okay, and equally, if it does start to lose $6.60, potentially you could say that you are in this retracement, okay, and you're continuously being pushed down, looking to retest this low here, okay, of which I don't think it would be a very negative thing. I do think if you came down to this low and held that as support, at this point it could be a good opportunity to go long, okay, and you're potentially going to start riding the waves back up, because right now you're literally caught between support and resistance. It's literally that simple. Okay, lose this low, go short, break this high, go long. It's a safe bet, guys. It's a safe bet. It's literally a safe bet, okay? So for me, the downside targets, okay, if you do start to come below $5.30, okay, which is our support area, for me, the minimum targets, I think I had this in the chart in the last video I did, you're looking at a minimum of $4.50, okay? If you start to come down here and do something like this where you run into the 050 that was previously support, you can see we're holding that as support now. If you come down and retest this low and come back up and turn that to resistance, you're looking at a reversal wave, potentially where you've come up off this low, okay, and then you fail to break out, okay, and you're going to start losing $5.30 and potentially start heading down to these lower targets here, okay? Now, the worst case scenario for me, a good opportunity, a good buying opportunity, if you did see $4.53 loss, for me, you're looking at $3.69, okay? And you can see that $3.69 here on the weekly time frame at the 1618 ties up with this support, okay, which is basically if you start losing this low that we're currently sitting at right now, basically, and trying to find out whether we're going to start to break out to the upside or whether you're going to start to retrace. Okay, it's literally that simple. It's a game of support and resistance. Okay, so right now this is support for us. Okay, this is support. It was previous resistance. Oh no, sorry, it was previous support, and right now potentially if you fail to break above it, you're looking to turn it to resistance and come back down off it. Okay, so this area right here is a very strong level of resistance. So the current price of that resistance, okay, is this low, this previous support, which is where we're at, $7.20. Okay, if you can't break above $7.20, I do think you're going to get pushed down. As I said, by this, there's a descending level of resistance here. You're going to get pushed down and start to retrace to this 1 fib, this low here that's our support line. Okay, so for me, as I've said, guys, if you fail to come up and reach $9.40 again and you do produce lower highs, do look for a rollover and a retest of this 1 fib at $5.30. Now, if that gets lost, okay, you're looking at these lower targets down here. So do get this fib on, okay, from this high, retracing to this low. Okay, if you start to lose the 1 fib, these are my targets at a minimum. Okay, they're my minimum targets. But looking here, at the moment, currently, what Link is actually doing, okay, you can see is it's broken up to this target here. Okay, so you had this low, you came up an impulsive wave, Okay, you started to retrace. You came back up again. You're retracing again. You're basically holding the 050 right now at $7. Okay, $7. And last week's close was still higher than that 050. So this 050 is key support right now. You can see it's key support. Okay, because you've had multiple weeks. Okay, you've had the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks of closing above the 050. The more you hold support, I think you're looking to go long. It's the same way if the more you run into resistance, you're looking to go short. Okay, so for me to get the confirmation, we need to stay closing above. Here on the weekly, we need to stay closing above this level of this level of support. Let me get this fib off right now. Okay, you can see that you've got this ascending level of support here on the weekly. Okay, with the closes and some wicks. Okay, you had a wick below that. Okay, but you still have closed within this ascending level of support on the weekly. So right now we need to maintain this level of support. Okay, if you start to see that support lost, okay, and you start to, as you said, you've got this resistance line here as well. If you start to see us continuously failing to break above this resistance and losing this ascending level of support on the weekly, that gives confirmation you're going to start retracing back down to these sort of lows. Okay, so it's all about holding support. You want to hold the 050 and this trend line, and you're potentially getting squeezed down to a corner. This here is also potentially a descending triangle on the weekly. Okay, and if you did lose support here of that, okay, you can see that potentially you're in a target of a minimum target. If you was to lose support here of the 050, okay, which is that $7.10 mark, you are going to retrace back down to this low. You will be losing this ascending level of support. Okay, if you started to do that and started to retrace, you would be losing that and basically starting and confirming this reversal wave where you're starting to retrace back down to these lows. Okay, so we want to hold exactly where we are now. We kind of need to hold to get our confirmation that this is potentially leading to more upside. Okay, because you've got, as I said, you've got this level of resistance. Okay, and you're basically caught. You've come up like this, you've come down, you've come up, you've come down, you've come up, you come down. You're getting squeezed. You can see you're getting squeezed here. So a potential break is going to happen over the next few days. Okay, it is going to happen over the next few days. Now let's get back into the daily time frame. Clear off the charts here. See, we can have a little look here, zoom in a little bit, see what's going on, and potentially try and predict some moves moving forward. So as I've said, you've got this ascending level of support. Okay, you've got this ascending level of support right now, which is right. If I just get that bang on, there we go. Okay, so if you do start to see Chainlink roll below here and hit this as resistance, you are looking to go short, aren't you? Okay, and you're looking to go short down to this low. Okay, and if you lost that low, which is a low of $6.20, you are looking to retrace to further lows. Okay, and as I said, this is one big A, B, potentially a C roll in here where you've got a high, a lower highs, and if you start to form even more lower highs, okay, it's just depleting buying pressure. You've got this resistance. Okay, if you start to keep getting rejected by that, you are going to come down. Okay, it's literally as simple as that. As I said, it's a game of support and resistance. Okay, so on the daily here, you can also see just by these closes, okay, that Chainlink is literally coiling up. Okay, it's coiling up for something. You've got a impulsive, corrective. Okay, impulsive, corrective. Now you're looking to come up and retest this resistance. Okay, if Chainlink starts to break out of this trend line here on the daily, okay, and closing above it and holding it as support, for me, you are looking to come up to previous resistance at $8. And if you was to break the $8 mark, okay, you're then looking to go long back up to that $9.50 area. Okay, so that is the bullish scenario for me. If you break this resistance on the daily time frame, if you start to come up and break that, do look for a retracement back up to these highs. Okay, do look for a retracement back up to those highs. And you could see first, in order to get that, okay, that potentially what you've got is a smaller ascending triangle within a larger one. Okay, so you've come down, you've got this low, a resistance, support, resistance, support. Right now, if you start to push up to resistance, you could be looking at a nice long up here into resistance of around about 11%, guys. Okay, and you could see that potentially what's happening is you're literally just stuck and you're getting compressed into a corner looking for some sort of breakout. Again, lose support, go short. Okay, break resistance, hold it as support, go long, and your next target will be retracing back up to these local highs. Okay, so there's patterns within patterns at the moment, and you are adhering to higher levels of support. Okay, you've got a horizontal level of resistance, okay, which is here. Okay, you've got this level of resistance above us. Let's maintain the same, and you've got this ascending level of support. So this is bullish structure until it's not. Okay, until you start doing something like this, where you've come from this low, you've got this high. Right now, if this is a lower high, okay, and you've got this high here, and you've got this high here. If you fail to break through this resistance, okay, and start to come up and do this and lose this as support, for me, you're basically getting your reversal wave continuation, because you've come up, you've made a high, you've come down, made a higher low, but you've also come up and made a lower high again. Okay, to get confirmation, what you want to see really and truly is Link come up, do something like this, and right now this is the wave where you're starting to break out. You break through this $9.50 resistance, pull back to it for support, and then get your continuation out of here. Okay, back up to higher price tags that I think we was looking at before in the last video. So it's literally a game of support and resistance, guys. I try and keep the charts as simple as possible. Okay, but if you do start to see Link break above this resistance here at $8, okay, and start to come up and break through that, do look to go long. Okay, but for me right now, what I think's occurring, okay, you can see that multiple points of contact on this trend line. For the past 2 days, it would have been a good area to go long, because potentially you're going to start to come up and retest this resistance again. Okay, so for me in the near short term, that is the potential play. As I said, from here, that's roughly around about 11% long opportunity, okay, into resistance, at which point I would look to short and potentially come back down again to support. Okay, so it's literally just coiling up for some sort of break, and you can trade the ranges. It's literally that simple. Okay, because if you do start to come up here and you break that resistance and hold that as support, it's simple. The next target is these highs, okay, which is your current resistance levels at $9.50. Okay, so it's all about holding support, okay, and basically breaking resistance. So just to confirm that, guys, here on the daily time frame, I'm looking for a nice 11% long up, okay, back up into resistance, of which then a pullback maybe to higher support before breaking out, okay, and looking to retest this $9.50 area. That's our strong resistance at the moment. And for me, again, if you fail to come up here and create a lower high and start to roll and lose this support, and you get rejected by this descending level of resistance, okay, as I said, you're coiling up in some sort of horizontal here within an ascending triangle. If you lose that as support, okay, and this resistance keeps acting as resistance, you're going to come down and start to lose this, and you're basically creating something called a reversal wave, where you're going to come down and retest these local lows, of which you've already wicked at a price of $6.30. Okay, so lose support here, $6.30 is my target minimum, retracing to these lows. Okay, if you start to come up and break resistance, do look for this 11% long up to $8.10. Okay, guys, so that's a quick update for you today. I hope it wasn't too confusing. What the hell's going on? I hope it wasn't too confusing for you. I do understand that sometimes I do get a bit carried away with patterns and stuff that I'm looking at. I just get really excited, and my brain just foggles over to different things. But I will try and note some stuff down and simplify these videos moving forward. But I hope you get what I mean, guys, okay? As I said, it's literally a game of support and resistance. It's literally a game of support and resistance. And right now, we're stuck between a rock and a hard place. Okay, you've got this resistance, as I keep saying, and this support on the weekly. See, either one of these brokens, you go long or short. It's that simple, okay? You're coiling up right now like this, okay? If you start to come up, break this resistance, it's a long, okay? If you start to come down and continuously getting hit your heads and losing this low, it's a short. Okay, and I've given you those targets with the Fibonacci not too long ago. So, yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's content. If you did, please do like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, from Chart Nerd TA, peace out. Have a great day.